The common theme, collaboration. And we're going to continue with that because we're moving fast across borders. That's the last talk before the panel discussion, so bring all of your questions for the panel. But our last very exciting talk is we've brought people from around the world who are leading FAST affiliates throughout the global entities. And this is being led, and I'm going to let her introduce herself, Koekoeckx. I did pretty good. She is going to introduce the FAST global affiliates, and they're going to talk to you about the incredible work that they have done over the year. They updated us last year on where they were at, and they've done a tremendous amount this year. They've really raised the bar for Angelman syndrome research and Angelman syndrome integration globally, which for me is the most important thing, because we need to reach all patients throughout the world living with Angelman syndrome, and we couldn't do it without all of you. So thank you.
There was a tweet that from top.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone feeling after a full day of science? Thumbs up? Thumbs down? Thumbs up? Good. No, I think it's super exciting, but I know it can also be quite exhausting, especially if English is not your native language. So I do want to give a shout out to all our international people that are listening in and that are attending, but which English is not their native language. So don't run away just yet. This is our very last session, but it's a really inspiring session that we saved for last, where you will see the amazing things that our FAST chapters have achieved this past year. Now, I'm Koekoeckx. I am the global advisor for FAST, and I live in Belgium together with my daughter Hazel, who is living with Angelman syndrome. Now, when we received our diagnosis nearly 3 years ago, I felt really lost. And I must say that the two things that pulled me through was, one, learning that there is hope for a better future for our loved ones, but also knowing that we're not alone on this journey. We're all in this journey together, working towards the same goal. Now, FAST is a global organization with 9 chapters across the world. First, we have here Noah from FAST Canada, Tom from FAST UK, Stephanie from FAST Latam, Charlotte from FAST France, Megan representing FAST Australia, Benedetta representing FAST Italy, Carolina from FAST Poland, and then Evelyn from FAST Germany. Yes, round of applause. Now, being a global organization is so valuable for so many reasons. It enables us to build a network of researchers and academic leaders across the world, accelerating the research. We've also been working very hard to organize our Angelman syndrome community worldwide so that we know where the individuals with Angelman syndrome live, where are they being treated, and to identify potential clinical trial sites. And this is so important also for our industry partners, because it enables them to see the potential of Angelman syndrome and to identify where they potentially can go if they have a potential therapeutic. Equally important is to ensure that our global community is well informed about the research, about the potential treatment options, and also what it means to participate in a clinical trial. This way, families can make an educated decision on what is best for their families. And of course, by sharing knowledge and resources, we're far more efficient. So for example, if FAST Poland has done an amazing initiative this year, it can be replicated by our other chapters. And this is how we collaborate together and how we're more efficient. And honestly, it's also a lot more fun and more rewarding to collaborate together. And with that, I give the word to Noah from FAST Canada so he can share the main achievements from FAST Canada. I don't know if your mic is on. Can you test? No, it's not on. Can we check the mics? Yeah. Tap it?
Thanks, Allison. Okay. So this is my board from FAST Canada. They're all connected to the Angelman community one way or another, either as family or professionally. Next slide. Okay. So some developments that we've had over the last year. We're now coming into our second year of funding for North Carolina State University, Dr. Kung's lab with the human organoid models. And this was really appealing to us when talking to Allison and her breaking it down into normal English as to how these things worked. We felt that this was great because it didn't apply to one specific avenue towards treatments, but it kind of supported the system as a whole, and various things could be applied to it. We had some success with our CAN pages, that's the local fundraising, various golf tournaments and families that raised a lot of money and raised a lot of awareness as well. And we were very lucky that someone in our local community won the lottery, like the jackpot lottery. She was very lucky, but we were lucky that she's decided to support us. So she's now giving us a yearly commitment for a donation that's going to help us bring on our first paid staff member.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Applause.
And it's in Alana and Ryan's talk at the beginning of the event. I think everybody can understand how important that is to sort of grow and to really achieve our goals.
Yeah. Super. Thank you so much.
That's it.
Hi, everybody. So this is our board, also made up of parents and all people who are very much engaged in the Angelman community back home. So firstly, we also actually hired our first paid staff member this year. Probably should have had a photograph of her on this slide, but Heather Brady joined us earlier in the year as events and community engagement manager. So, big step for us, and we're thrilled to have her on board. One of our key focuses this year and going forward has been, continue to raise awareness and community engagement. And a recent example of that is we've done a collaboration with the Foundation for Prader-Willi Research UK, and we are involved in the 15Q Awareness Day, which is basically a scheme that is looking to raise awareness for syndromes that affect the chromosome 15, namely Angelman syndrome, Prader-Willi, and Dup15q. So we hope that with that collaboration, we'll be able to raise awareness to a much wider audience. Not only that, that we share the same aligned goal of accelerating UK clinical trials and drug advancement.
Amazing.
We are also, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Our other key focus areas obviously been to raise money and fund what we consider to be projects to help find cure for Angelman syndrome. And obviously one of those has been the UK Natural History Study, run by Laurence Gervais, pictured here, and ably supported by Theodora Marchetti, who's also here this weekend. We're really pleased to say that FAST UK have committed to fully fund a 3-year extension to this study, which is going to bring another 15 cohorts to the patient group, and it's really exciting. We're hopeful that we get final approval imminently, and we're looking to recruit early next year.
Thank you so much, Tom.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie. I am the chair for FAST Latam. These are all of our board members. They are absolutely amazing people. All of them mothers, except Melina, but Melina is like a mother to all of our kids, so thank you so much, Melina, for being part of this. This year has been a very transformative year for FAST Latam. We're incredibly proud of all the strides that we have made towards our mission of improving the lives of people with Angelman syndrome in Latin America. One of our biggest achievements was hosting our first Latin American Angelman Syndrome Congress in Bogota in August. We had over 220 people in person, over 500 people registered and attended virtually. And it was great because we brought together families, caregivers, researchers, and clinicians in order to share the knowledge, build community, and inspire hope to all Latin American families. So thank you so much for all your support, FAST, for being always there for us. And it actually has become a cornerstone event, uniting our community and creating a platform for exchanging the latest advancements and supportive strategies. And we hope to see you all in Mexico of 2026. Another major milestone, and this is actually one of the biggest projects we've led for the past 3 years, and in collaboration with Laurence Gervais and and Fast UK, they helped us a lot. We're almost done with our cross-sectional patient study in 3 centers of Latin America, in Argentina, Chile, and Colombia. We have recruited 90 patients, have seen over 75 patients already, and we have all the evaluations that are made also from the natural history study in Fast UK, and that many of these evaluations are also being done in all of the clinical trials. So we hope to continue laying the groundwork for future clinical trials in our region. And we continue with our free diagnosis program, with our containment our containment program, which is called Programa Casa Angelman, which is amazing. We have seen over 200 families in the past 2 years, so it is awesome. And now Casa Angelman has reopened its doors to see families in person as well, but we will continue to do this virtually. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charlotte. I'm the mother of Eloise, who is 8 years old and dilation positive. And here you can see the board of Fast Friends. And there is 3 people here over there that are part of the board. And thanks to this fabulous group, last year I was able to announce that we had the very first clinical trial with ASO on any neurodevelopmental disorder in France, and I was on Angelman syndrome. So that was last year. And 2024 came also with a lot of firsts. The first scientific advisory board for France happened in March, and you see all the picture of all the super brains that is so nice to help us advise, engage on Angelman syndrome. So it's a mix of clinicians, a mix of researchers, but we also have some previously involved labs, pharma's staff member involved in Angelman syndrome, which are part of the advisory board. So thank you so much for that. There's 2 of those people that are here in the room as well, so my chance to say thank you. And the very also first research that Fast Friends will fund will happen actually in a couple of weeks. And this research will be on eye tracking, and the objective of this is just to look if eye tracking can be a robust tool to measure objectively the social impairment on Angelman syndrome. And if it proves to be right, it could be a tool used in clinical trials in the future to track the social impairment evolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte.
Hi, Megan from Fast Australia, and going with the theme from UK and Canada, I'm now a staff member for Fast Australia, so I'm no longer the chairperson. Shane Jez is over here somewhere, he's the chairperson, and Jeremy is also here from our board. 2 of our achievements this year still underway. You just heard Nikki talk about the registry redo, so we're going through that, and we're really excited about how much shorter that will be for families and how much more relevant it will be. You know, we've been going for 8 years, so it's time to have a relevance check, make it shorter, make it easier for you, and make sure that we're getting the information we need out of it. The second project that we're really proud of is a nurse navigator project. We've hired 3 clinical nurse coordinators in Brisbane, Sydney, and Melbourne. And the purpose of that is to make sure that we're rolling out the standard of care, the Angelman syndrome multidisciplinary care, to individuals across Australia, regardless of where they are or whatever their age is. The other purpose is to make sure that we've got infrastructure for clinical trials, and each of these sites are hosting clinical trials at the moment.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Benedetta Sirtori. I am one of the founder and board member of Fast Italy. Those are the other board members and the regional founders of Fast Italy. They are very dedicated person. All of them are parents of Angelman children, And we all together, we are very proud to announce that we are organizing the very first Italian scientific conference for FAST Italy, which will take place next year in February. And we want to thank you, all the researchers, the clinicians, pharma companies and FAST members who accepted our invitations and will come over to Italy and talk to our Angelman community. Will be very important, very valuable for us. So thank you. We are very looking forward to having you with us. And as for our scientific projects, we have a collaboration with the University of Bologna, who is presently working on the IPS cells of our biorepository. And this project is quite long, so it's been going on for quite a year now. So that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Benedetta.
Hi, my name is Karolina and I'm the chairperson of FAST Poland. Our board members are also Asia, who is sitting over there, and Hania, who is online with us. We are on the eve of phase 3 clinical trials. We hope that in the near future, transformative treatment will be approved. But we also know that not only approval, but a real access to this therapy is our goal. So as a FAST Poland, we focus this year on dialogue with Polish government and strengthening cooperation with medical experts. In September, we were invited to the Polish Parliament, to the meeting of the Parliamentary Group for Rare Diseases focused on orphan drugs. We had opportunity to speak about Angelman syndrome, roadmap to a cure, and 4-pillar strategy. We emphasized why we are so determined to cure Angelman syndrome, and that Angelman syndrome has a huge impact not only on individuals living with it, but also on families and the whole society. We also strengthened cooperation with medical experts, which resulted possibility to speak at the most important neurological conference in Poland. It was a busy year, but I can proudly say that it was a good year. And we won't stop, because we would like to turn impossible into possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm the last. So we are really happy to be the youngest chapter in this incredible FAST family. So it was already a goal for many years, and I'm happy that my team is also with me, or a part of my team. So Denise and Sarah, we all have deletion, Angelman girls, and yeah, they have worked very hard in the last months, and our brand new website has gone online today, so you can have a look on cureangelman.de. And in this year, we received a very high donation, so nearly €1 million for science. And yeah, that was our highest donation ever. And we have already invested a little bit in research. So one project is together with the University of Portugal, where we have the project exploring of the therapeutic approach of the pine-rosine in Angelman syndrome. And then we have another project in the basic area together with our Angelman centers in Munich and Leipzig, the exploration of genetic causes for Angelman with imprinting defects. Yeah.
Thank you, Evelyn. And then, since Pedro and Cesario couldn't attend FAST Science Summit this year, I will have the honor to represent FAST Spain. So the board of FAST Spain includes Pedro, David y Candela, and then we have Davis, Juanjo, and Elena, and Cesario. That is the full board of FAST Spain. And for FAST Spain, it has been an incredible year as well, a year of many firsts. They had their very first natural history study that started at 2 clinical sites, one in Madrid and one in Barcelona. And in total, they have enrolled 40 patients, which is pretty amazing. Another first is that they also launched their very first research grant of $150,000, which will fund important research in Angelman syndrome in fast pain. And of course, none of this would be possible without the support of the Spanish families. And they have done an incredible work. We have seen a 40% increase in CAN campaigns across the region. So we should be very grateful to these families. Thank you so much. And then I would like to conclude the Spanish presentation with some Spanish words that I have been instructed to say. And I hope the meaning is correct. So Cesario told me that it meant that everything was going well and everything is according to plan. So ole, ole, yole. And then to conclude the global presentation, I would like to show you the map of the participants across the globe. And honestly, this makes me super happy. It's truly amazing. We have people from all over the world coming together to educate themselves in the hope of creating a better future for their loved ones. So if you are inspired by the work of our global chapters and you want to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me and let's see how we can collaborate together. Thank you so much.
Amazing work.